This VAWatchdog.org news video is brought to you by Bergman & Moore, LLC. Former VA attorneys now fighting VA for you. Call Bergman & Moore at 877-838-2889 or on the web at vetlawyers.com.
There are serious allegations tonight against the Department of Veterans Affairs that it tried to cover up an epidemic of suicide. CBS News chief investigative correspondent Armen Keteyian first exposed this epidemic last year, and tonight he has an exclusive follow-up.
In San Francisco federal court today, attorneys for veterans' rights groups accuse the VA of nothing less than a cover-up, deliberately concealing the real risk of suicide among veterans.
The system is in crisis, and unfortunately, the VA is in denial.
The charges were backed by these internal emails written by Dr. Ira Katz, the VA's head of mental health. In the past, Dr. Katz has repeatedly insisted while the risk of suicide among veterans is serious, it is not outside the norm.
There is no epidemic of suicide in VA.
But in this email to his top media advisor written 2 months ago, Dr. Katz appears to be saying something very different, stating our suicide prevention coordinators are identifying about 1,000 suicide attempts per month among veterans we see in our medical facilities. Dr. Katz's email was written shortly after the VA provided CBS News data showing there were only 790 attempted suicides in all of 2007, a fraction of Dr. Katz's estimate.
This 12,000 attempted suicides per year shows clearly, without a doubt, that there is a suicide epidemic.
And it appears that Dr. Katz went out of his way to conceal these numbers. First, he titled his email, "Not for the CBS News interview request." He opened it with "shh," as in keep it quiet, before ending with, "Is this something we should carefully address before someone stumbles on it?" Today, we showed the email to Congressman Bob Filner, who chairs the House Committee on Veterans Affairs.
This is disgraceful. This is a crime against our nation, our nation's veterans. They do not want to come to grips with the reality, with the truth.
And that's not all. Last November, when CBS News exposed an epidemic of more than 6,200 suicides in 2005 among those who had served in the military, Dr. Katz attacked our report.
Their number is not, in fact, an accurate reflection of the rate.
But it turns out they were, as Dr. Katz admitted in this email just 3 days later. He wrote there are about 18 suicides per day among America's 25 million veterans. That works out to be about 6,570 per year, which Dr. Katz admits in the same email is supported by the CBS numbers. In an email late today to CBS News, Dr. Katz said the reason why the suicide numbers were not released was because of questions over the reliability and consistency of the findings, and that there was no public cover-up involved. Armen Keteyian, CBS News, Washington.
VAWatchdog.org, the nation's #1 independent veterans website. On the web at VAWatchdog.org.